Hello my friends, David Baker here with another Success Mentality tip. This one's a real gem that I learned from one of my mentors, and it's going to help you again and again if you use it. Let's get started exploring your big advantage. When facing a new challenge, you have a big advantage. Today I'm going to tell you exactly what that is so you can use it to its greatest possible effect. Think about how you react when a big obstacle pops up in your life. Most people have a reflex reaction that's more harmful than helpful. They automatically look at the problems, the obstacles, the difficulties standing in their way. And as a result, in their minds, they've already halfway accepted defeat. That's not a good way to start fixing your problem. If we're honest, this could describe me and you at least some of the time. On the flip side, you can probably think of some situations where you met a new challenge with courage, with confidence. You said, hey, bring it on. I'm ready for this. That often happens when you already have some skill and experience in that area. So when a huge problem pops up, to prevent yourself from going down that path of negativity, try thinking this way. Think, I've got a big advantage. I'm going to succeed. So what possible advantage could you have when dealing with these kind of new obstacles, these new problems? It depends entirely on who you are. Are you older? Then you have plenty of life experience. Are you young? Then you probably have lots of energy and hopefully you're open-minded. Do you have few resources, aka money? That's okay because you're going to find help and opportunities that other people wouldn't even bother looking for. Do you lack experience? Well, that could be okay too because you probably also lack bad habits. You can quickly absorb the best practices, the latest methods available. What I want you to realize from each of these situations I mentioned is that every background has a positive side and a negative side to it. You just need to look at your background in a positive way and see it as your advantage. Your personal style, your ability, your experience, your resources, taken together, those add up to your big advantage. Now, some of you might be thinking, come on, David, aren't you just saying think positively? And yes, that's the starting point. But I'm urging you to take the critical next step. Carefully analyze yourself and find all the positive things that you bring to the table. When you put them all together, you're going to find that you have a big advantage that will help you take action confidently and win. Here's a great thing about life. You have the choice to look at yourself positively or negatively. It's totally up to you. To illustrate how much people can be affected by a negative reaction, we can think back to a story about Henry Ford around 1932. He was trying to create the first highly efficient V8 engine that was cast in a single engine block. Henry Ford tasked a whole group of engineers with this job, and when they first analyzed the challenge, the problem, they looked at it very carefully and they came back to Henry Ford and they said, sorry, this is impossible, it can't be done. Henry Ford, hearing that from them, said, do it anyways. So at that point, the engineers had two choices, either quit the company or try to make it happen. To their credit, they kept working on it. But after 6 months, after 1 year, still, they kept coming back to Henry Ford and saying, hey, like we told you, this just isn't possible. He had the same answer for them too. He said, I don't care, keep working on it. It is possible, get it done. After a bit more time, they finally made the big breakthrough that helped them solve the problem and create that new, highly efficient V8 engine. This engine allowed Henry Ford and his company to revolutionize the auto industry for a second time. One of the things I wonder is how much faster could those engineers have gotten to the solution if they had approached the problem thinking, hey, we can do this. We have a big advantage. They could have thought, for example, we're engineers. We solve problems. That's what we do. We've got a whole team working together. We can accomplish a lot as a group. And we have a boss that is totally behind us and supporting us. We work for the cutting-edge car company of the time. They could have had lots and lots of positive thinking about their ability to do what seemed impossible. But instead, they, from historical accounts, looked at things thinking, we can't do this. One of Henry Ford's most famous quotes, one that I really love, is, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right." Fortunately, Henry Ford had enough belief for all of them and kept telling them, you can do this, keep trying. The bottom line is, thinking that you have a big advantage frees you up to use all of your skills, all of your background to the best advantage possible so that you can succeed. Here's a final bonus insight about where I got this tip. It grew out of a tip that a mentor gave me many years ago. He challenged me to become king of my own individuality. That meant to discover and develop, maximize all of my unique strengths and abilities. As I analyzed myself, of course, I noticed I have a lot of weaknesses too. So then I realized, what if I take those weaknesses and turn them into strengths in some way so that they actually help me instead of holding me back? And that's what led me to realizing it makes a big difference if you think of yourself having a big advantage instead of being disadvantaged. If you enjoyed this topic, click on one of the videos above for more about success mentality or public speaking tips. If you're new here, consider subscribing down below and click on the bell icon so you don't miss anything. Until next time, have fun exploring and utilizing your big advantage.